Hi there, this is Robert Agley, and I'm going to try to follow my own instructions using Photoshop Elements so you can see how to properly size your image. The first thing we want to do is to duplicate this file. So in Photoshop Elements, what we do is, of course, first open up the menu at the top, which is Photoshop Elements, and go to, excuse me, File, and then Duplicate. You can see that we're going to have a second file that's called the copy file. Okay, now we have two files. We have the copy file and we have the original file. My normal procedure is to dump the original file. The reason is then you don't mistakenly make changes to it, save it as a reduced file, particularly if this is your archived original image. So I'm going to close that, and of course there's a bunch of gibberish. It tells me what. Now I have just the file that is the copy file. Now, the first thing I want to do with this is make certain that it's an 8-bit mode. 8-bit because that's what the projector sees best. So I'm going to go to Image and Mode, and we can see here that it does give me the choice of 8 bits per channel. If this particular thing is not open, if it's grayed out, it means your file is already 8-bit, so don't worry about it. In this case, it's a huge TIFF file, so I'm going to click on 8 bits. Okay, now it's 8-bit. We're going to want to change it to the appropriate size for the projector, and that's a pretty easy thing to do. So you're going to go to, again, to Image. Only this time we're going to visit Resize and go to, come on, cooperate here, Image Size. Here are the pixel boxes. Normally, all you have to do is change the height, and you'll find that the dimension for your width takes care of itself. It'll be less than 1280. In this case, that's exactly what happens. So now I have a file that's 720 pixels high and 1083 wide. That is below the maximum of 1280 by 720, so I'm in good shape. Some of you with Photoshop Elements may open this box and find that this is grayed out, you can't use it. Simply go down here where it says Resample Image and check this box and you'll be in good shape. Okay, now watch what happens when I hit OK. We're going to get this little dinky image. So although this isn't in instructions, this is simple to fix. You just go up to View, Fit on Screen, and now you got a peachy keen image that's the right size. We want to make certain that the color space is sRGB. In my particular case, I can almost guarantee that this photo is not in the sRGB color space because I use another one for print purposes. So to find that, again, we go to our little favorite here, Image, only this time we're going to go Convert Color Profile. And when we go to that, we find that, guess what? It is already converted to sRGB profile. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so we're all set. So forget my previous comment. We know it's sRGB. If this is not grayed out, if sRGB is showing, then you would want to click on it, of course. Now, if you want to sharpen your image, this is when to do it, because you've already got it sized, you got your color, you got all that handled. I'm going to leave that up to you in terms of sharpening. Typically, if I sharpen, I use about an amount of about 150. And that seems to take care of it for projecting images. But just for the sake of moving along here, I'm not going to go into that. What I want to do is something that's far more important, and that's to finish your image to give it a polished look. And you do that by applying a thing called a keyline, which is relatively simple. On the Mac, what I do is I hit the Command A, which means basically all. And if this was the PC, it would be Control A. And what it does is gives you the marching ants around the image. So it's designated that whole image. And now I'm going to go into kind of a slick little area called Edit. And I'm going to go to Stroke. And when I go to Stroke, it allows me to determine what the width of this little marching ants or this little outline is going to be. I have 3 pixels here, and so that it'll be seen on the screen real easily, I'm using the color white. I could click on this and then the whole palette opens up and you could select the color in here and get real fancy. Tell you what, let's do it, just so you can see what happens. So using the color picker, I'm going to go up here, and now you can see I get this sort of weird looking orange color. And when I hit OK later on, this is going to be the color of my outside keyline. Now, under location, I always use inside. The reason for this is I don't want to change the dimensions of the image. We know it is 720 images high. If I use center or outside, it could be bigger. Incidentally, a little secret. Those won't work unless you have a canvas bigger than the image. So the only one that will work for you is the inside button. Anything else, center is going to give you half the information you have designated as width. Outside won't work at all. So it's much easier just to use inside. You're going to lose about 3 pixels of your image. Big deal. Let me show you what that looks like. There we go. You got a pink around the edge. And then you can hit Command D if you want, so you can see what it looks like. It doesn't look too bad. And of course, the last step is you want to save this. And when you save it, you want to use the command of, you want the Save As command, because you're going to change the name of this file to the proper naming protocol for the Cascade Camera Club. So if you're using a PC, it will be Shift Control S. On the Mac, it will be Shift Command S. And once I've done that, you can see this is all highlighted. It's got all kinds of peachy information here, which I'm going to get rid of. And I'm going to use the filing nomenclature. And the filing nomenclature starts with the year, then an underscore mark, and then the month, and we'll put October. That sounds good. And then we're going to put the name of the author of the image, or should I say creator. First name first, underscore, last name, and then the date. And now we've done Robert Agley, and now we're going to put in the title of the picture. Last little piece of information we need here is this an open image or is it a theme? So we're going to say that this fit theme, and I'm going to use a capital T to indicate that that's theme. One last thing that we have to do, and it's pretty important, is we make certain that the format of this image is changed to JPEG. So here's the JPEG. You can see here that it says it has an embedded color file of sRGB, which is cool. When I hit save, it's going to give me another little box, and it's going to say, do you want to save it at a compression ratio of 8? See how small the file is? Well, we want that file to be no bigger than 500 kilobytes. That'll make Mike much happier when you submit the image. So we can't use big files. So I just moved it up to 10. We're still in good shape. I moved it up to 10, and we got 348. I could probably even scooch this thing up as high as 11. Let's see what happens just for flash. Yeah, we're below 500 at 11. It only goes to 12. So we have a file that's below 500 kilobytes with very little compression, so we know this is going to project well. And I'm going to hit OK. And once I hit OK, we now have a file ready to submit to the digital competition online submission box. That's basically an email, and all you would do is attach this to the email. Hope that helps. See you at Camera Club meeting.